Last episode saw the reality of jobs, important lifetime events, and general life inevitably colliding with our project. And with both of us beginning new jobs we hadn't anticipated starting, we made the decision to push our move-in date about 6 months.
Being freelancers, it's very difficult to juggle work and life balance. Because we love what we do, we know we'd regret not taking these opportunities when they're presented to us. The deadline we've made up ourselves is probably going to get pushed back about 6 months. I know it's the right decision because we get to do the jobs that we love.
Therefore, we whizzed through a very bitty 6 months, fiberglassing and painting the bilge.
I'm now going to move on to the flooring. Now, I'm not happy with the side pieces.
Redoing the side pieces of the saloon floor.
It's a bit of a win, this is. I didn't really expect that to happen, so happy days.
Some priming. Some chain plate and knee removal. Making both intentional and accidental holes in the boat. And the use of lots of pie dishes.
I need another pie dish.
Pie tins.
Oh, it's just going to be another pie dish.
We're close approaching the end of the year. Ben's almost finished his show and I'm still continuing to juggle boat and full-time work. But we have made it back on Rummy to end the year on a high.
What do we have here? Ellie and I came down to the boat the other day and we had about an hour and a half. We just wanted to achieve something because it's been so long since we've actually done anything on the boat. We wanted to get here and do something.
This is fun.
One thing we knew we needed to do was to seal the floorboards. So Ellie got to work sanding and epoxying the floorboards while I removed this port side midships chain plate. What I'm going to do now, I'm kind of in a similar situation. I've just got down to the boat. I've only got an hour or so to do some work before I have to go to my job. So I'm just going to quickly sand this down and try and reapply some more epoxy. Right, just like that, time is up and I've got to go to work. So although it wasn't much, I've got a sand and another coat of epoxy on this. This is the underside of the floor, so it'll be primed, then it's going to have some bilge paint on it just to really protect it. And if it gets any horrible bilge juice on it, we can just wipe it off. That's the dream. Right, got to go to work.
We want to thank you all for your support so far. We love making these videos, so please subscribe and leave a comment. It's totally free and we love hearing from you all.
It's a couple of days later, we've not been able to come down to the boat because of work again. But I've come down here, the epoxy is cured absolutely beautifully. It has got a lovely layer of oily blush on it, which gives it this really nice shine, but I will sand that off at some point. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the smooth, oily texture of it. I'm going to turn this over now and then do the other side. The difference in that is the same. I put the final coat of epoxy onto the larger starboard floor piece, and we have realised we've not got enough space on the boat. It's not really a sustainable way to be epoxying, because if we're going to do 4 coats on every piece of flooring, it's going to be like 9 floors, it's going to take forever. So I think what Ellie's going to do at some point is take all the floor pieces down to the unit.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Spread them out, do them all at once, so hopefully we can at least do it in 2 or 3 days.
No dust.
For now, I can't do any more. That epoxy is drying, so I'm going to move on to the next job, which is chain plates. More chain plates. I've got 3 chain plates out of 7 so far. I've got 2 out of the port side, 1 out of the starboard side. I'm going to get the final one out of the port side now. I'm going to take advantage of the weather currently because it's dry, so I'm going to take the port one out. It's in a really tricky position. This chain plate is behind all these drawers, and then in behind that is the structure of the drawers, and it's just really fiddly, so it's going to be painful. I've got nowhere to put these drawers, but you know, I've got to do it, so I'm going to stop complaining about it and just get on with it. I've got all of the port side chain plates out and covered. That's great. I've got one off on the starboard side and now working on the midships one. It is proving extremely difficult. It's one side's in the head, backing plate's in the head, and the other side is just here. It is extremely corroded, and I've just taken the driver upstairs. There's some really strong flat-headed bits to just try and buzz it out with the vice grips on the nut here. However, to no avail. It didn't even spin and it just bent the drive a bit. So I don't really know what to do now. I think the smart thing to do is just to hit it with a hammer for a bit and see if it loosens up. Give it a little jiggle and then see if we can get it going from there. But I'm not convinced. I don't really know what to do from here. It's a bit too tough to get a grinder in there. So let me smash it with a hammer and see what happens. Okay, so I'm really struggling to get this nut off this. It's completely corroded on. I've tried getting the socket on it, nothing. I've tried hitting it with a hammer, surprisingly it didn't work either. I was just getting a disc on the angle grinder to get in, even though it's such a really difficult position. I thought it's the only option to give it a go. And then I remembered my new Christmas present, which was a new accessory kit for the Dremel. So I'm gonna put some goggles on my face. All right, wish me luck. We're free. Lovely.
Believe it or not, this was New Year's Eve. So as the sun beautifully set over Burnham Yacht Harbour, it was time to head home and enjoy the end of 2023.
One, two, mic check, mic check. Here we are. It's a really exciting day today because this is day one of me full time on the boat. So now it's all day, every day, boat, boat, boat. I'm very excited to get started and start projects and not have to stop halfway through the day to carry on. I can just get on with it and work all the way into the night until that task is completed if I want to, which is amazing. Going to carry on with some through holes today. I've got one forward that I want to take out. It's completely gunked over with some, I don't know if it's Sikaflex or whatever, but it's just been completely piled on and it is disgusting. So I really want to scrape all that off and try and get that out. If not, I'll just cut it off. They're getting all replaced soon anyway. Then I'm going to go to the workshop and I'm going to build a box for the epoxy. It is freezing cold now, and although I can keep the heaters running in the boat, I'm going to put a little reptile heat mat in there and hopefully keep the epoxy at a temperature that we can just keep using it, so we don't have to keep the heaters running overnight. We can just keep that going. But to start off, let me show you this through hole. Then we're going to cut to the skanky janky through hole.
My word, what is that? I'm gonna have a little go at peeling it off, but I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I'll just get the saw out, I think, if I need to.
I hope you can hear me over the wind. We got contacted by the marina a few weeks ago and they said that they needed to change our cradle because when we first got lifted out a year and a half ago, we were put on someone else's cradle, now they need to be lifted out. So I was like, this is a great opportunity because when we were first put onto the cradle, they put a stand over one of the through holes for the heads, so we haven't been able to get it out. So I was like, oh, if you're lifting it out, can you just quickly, when you put it back, just not cover the through holes so I can change them out. Like, yep, no problem. Now, technically they've done what they said. They haven't covered the through hole, but they've put the pad for the stand so close to it. I still don't think I can change it, but I'm going to give it a go and do my best. It is what it is, and we'll keep going. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, back in the workshop. It is currently 4 degrees in here. It is absolutely freezing. I'm going to leave the heaters running. There might be a little ambience. This one right behind me, right next to the microphone, so there probably is a little bit of a buzz that you can hear, but it's too cold to worry about it. Yesterday I started doing my epoxy box. Then the power went out, so I couldn't finish it. So we're back today. Power's back on, so I'm going to hit this as hard as I can. I really want to get this finished today so that we can start heating our epoxy before we use it, so it's not too thick. Let's do it. It's looking pretty good. I've got some old insulation that I found just lying around the boat when we got it. It's not enough to do anything with, so I'm just going to use it to line this box. I don't want to spend too much time. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to hold some sort of heat to make it worth it. I just need some hinges for the lid, and then the job's a good one. I think it's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it. So hopefully it works. Almost done. Need to put a little handle on here, but I've got a little box in there. Heat pad down there. Resin will sit here. Hardener will sit here. Let's test it for size. But there we go. Nice little insulated box. Unfortunately, there's no electricity, so I cannot test it, but I'm going to bring it home and test it at home.
Thanks for watching another episode. See you in 2 weeks with more exciting updates.
My house.